What if I told you that the reason you're not where you want to be in life is not because you lack talent or potential or even ambition? It's actually because you're carrying something. Something heavy, something invisible, and something absolutely devastating to your future. And you don't even realize it. And that invisible thing is distraction. Social media companies have poured billions of dollars into figuring out how to keep you glued to your phone, to get you hooked on the likes, validation, clicks, and noise. A system built to make you weak, addicted, and numb. And if you didn't know it already, these huge corporations are after your most precious resource, your attention. That's the gold they're mining for. Every notification, every like, every endless loop of content is not harmless entertainment. It's a weapon. Because in today's day and age, attention is the new currency. And let's be honest, it's not just tech companies either. It's the entire system, built to keep you distracted, docile, and dependent, because distracted people don't rebel. They don't build empires. They don't question anything. They simply consume. But here's the good news. You're not powerless, and you're definitely not broken. You've just been conditioned, and today, that conditioning ends. In this video, we're going to break down the dark truth about distraction, why it's destroying your potential, how it's being used to control you, and most importantly, how to break free from it once and for all. We're not here to help you feel better. We're here to help you take back your mind and your life. So if you're ready to stop being a slave to the system and start creating your reality with discipline, purpose, and power, you're exactly where you need to be. Let's begin. Picture this. Two of the richest, most successful people on the planet are sitting in a room, Bill Gates and Warren Buffett. Someone asked them both the same question. What's the most important factor in your success? Without consulting each other, both gave the exact same answer. Focus. Not intelligence, not luck, not connections. Focus. Focus is a superpower when utilized correctly. It's what separates people who find success from those who don't. It's the difference between building an empire and scrolling your life away. Focus equals clarity of intention plus elimination of noise. When you can focus, you can move mountains. When you can't, well, you become another casualty of the attention economy. The opposite of focus is distraction, and distraction is the modern drug. It's more addictive than Class A drugs, more accessible than alcohol, and more socially acceptable than both combined. And here's what nobody talks about. You will never build a meaningful life if you're constantly reacting to dopamine. You'll always be a passenger in your own existence, never the driver. Think about it. When was the last time you went an entire hour without checking your phone? When was the last time you sat in complete silence without feeling the itch to grab a device? But here's what might shock you. This isn't some modern phenomenon. This problem of distraction destroying human potential has been documented for centuries, and what I'm about to show you will prove just how predictable this all was. In 1932, Aldous Huxley wrote the famous book, A Brave New World. In it, he described a drug called soma, a substance that numbed pain, eliminated discomfort, and kept citizens compliant and happy. The government didn't need chains or whips to control people. They just gave them pleasure on demand and provided instant relief from any negative emotion. The perfect drug for the perfect slave. This soma doesn't sound all too dissimilar to that little device we all have in our pockets, does it? Huxley predicted our future with terrifying accuracy. Social media gives us instant validation. Streaming services provide endless entertainment. Food delivery brings pleasure to our door in 30 minutes. Each hit of pleasure creates a dependency. And each weakened moment of willpower makes you easier to control. We live in a world designed to make you addicted to comfort, so you never wake up to your potential. But here's what the system doesn't want you to know. Every great achievement in history came from someone who rejected easy pleasure for a difficult purpose. Every entrepreneur who built something meaningful did it by saying no to comfort. Every artist who created something beautiful did it by embracing discomfort. Every leader who changed the world did it by choosing discipline over distraction. So the question is, which world do you want to live in? The world of endless pleasure and no progress? or the world of purposeful pain and unlimited growth? Because you can't have both. And if you choose the path of growth, you need to understand the true cost of staying distracted. Because what I'm about to reveal will show you exactly how much of your life you've already lost. The ancient philosopher Seneca once said, "Putting things off is the biggest waste of life. It snatches away each day as it comes and denies us the present by promising the future." This quote is thousands of years old, and the reason I'm showing you this is to prove that the concept of wasting time through distraction is not something new. But in today's day and age, it's more common than ever. Take a moment to imagine how many amazing inventions, creations, artists, and athletes have been robbed from us because of distraction. How many potential Einsteins are scrolling TikTok right now? How many future leaders are lost in Netflix binges? Time is your most valuable asset, and it's the one thing you can never get back. Every minute you spend in mindless distraction is a minute stolen from your future self. Imagine what you could build if you focused every single day for a year. Imagine the person you could become, the skills you could develop, the relationships you could nurture, the business you could start, the art you could create. Now imagine looking back in 10 years, realizing you traded all of that potential for what? Memes? Doom scrolling? Other people's highlight reels? The pain of wasted time is not just personal to you, but it's disrespectful to the people who believe in you and society as a whole. We're living through the greatest waste of human potential in history. Billions of minds, designed for creation, reduced to consumption, but it doesn't have to be this way. Because there's one thing that can break you free from this prison of distraction, and once you understand what it really is, everything changes. So how do we overcome this insidious distraction? The answer is surprisingly simple. It's discipline. But here's where most people get it wrong. They think discipline is punishment or even an enemy of their freedom. But people who think this couldn't be further from the truth. Discipline is choosing your future over your feelings. Because real freedom is not doing whatever you want. Real freedom is being in control of your mind and actions. You cannot be free if you are a slave to your cravings or impulses. You cannot build anything meaningful if you're constantly reacting to the next hit of dopamine. Discipline is the bridge between who you are and who you want to become. It's the tool that transforms potential into reality. It's the weapon that defeats distraction. And the best part? Once you develop real discipline, you'll realize you don't want to go back to being controlled. You don't want to be a slave to algorithms. You don't want to trade your dreams for temporary pleasure. Because nothing feels better than being in complete control of your own life. But knowing this isn't enough. You need a proven system to actually make it happen. And I'm about to give you the exact 4-step framework that will rewire your brain for unstoppable focus. All right, enough theory, let's get practical. Here's a step-by-step framework to break free from the shackles of distraction and reclaim your power. Step 1. Strategic deprivation. First, you need to strategically deprive yourself of high dopamine behaviors. I'm talking about social media scrolling, junk food, mindless YouTube binges, video games, excessive shopping, and anything that gives you pleasure without purpose. This isn't about becoming a monk. This is about recalibrating your brain. Your dopamine receptors are fried from constant stimulation, and you need to let them reset. Make sure to cut out or drastically reduce these behaviors for at least 30 days. Let boredom come, and let your senses reset, and let your mind remember what it feels like to be unstimulated. This will be uncomfortable to begin with. You'll feel anxious, restless, maybe even depressed, but you need to know that you are simply withdrawing and resetting your mind so it knows how to function without artificial stimulation. Push through it. On the other side of that discomfort is a version of you with supernatural focus. Step 2. Rebuild discomfort tolerance. Modern life has made us allergic to discomfort. We reach for our phones the moment we feel bored. We order food the moment we feel hungry. We turn on music the moment we feel silence. Step 2 is rebuilding your discomfort tolerance. Start small. Sit in complete silence for 10 minutes. No phone, no music, no distractions, just you and your thoughts. Meditate, journal, take long walks without your phone. Have conversations without checking your device. Eat meals without entertainment. Your growth is on the other side of discomfort. Every time you resist the urge to escape into pleasure, you're building the muscle of self-control. The goal isn't to suffer for the sake of suffering. The goal is to become comfortable being uncomfortable. So when life requires you to push through difficult moments, you're ready. Step 3. Train your focus like a muscle. Focus is not a talent. It's like a muscle. And like any muscle, it can be trained, developed, and strengthened. A perfect way to do this is to use time blocks. Pick one important task and work on it for a set period without any distractions. Start with 30 minutes. No phone, no notifications, no multitasking, just deep, focused work. When your mind wanders, gently bring it back. When you feel the urge to check your phone, acknowledge the impulse, but don't act on it. You're training your brain to sustain attention. Gradually increase the time. 30 minutes becomes an hour becomes 2 hours. Before you know it, you'll be capable of deep work sessions that most people can only dream of. Focus is not just about what you choose to do, it's about what you choose not to do. Step 4. Replace pleasure with purpose. This is arguably the most important step of the whole process. You can't just remove distractions, you have to replace them with something meaningful. Ask yourself, what am I here to build? What legacy do you want to leave? What impact do you want to have? What would you create if you knew you couldn't fail? Purpose gives pain meaning. It turns suffering into strength, and when you have a clear vision of what you're building, every moment of discomfort becomes an investment in your future. This is where the magic happens. When you're driven by purpose instead of pleasure, obstacles become stepping stones. Setbacks become setups for comebacks. Pain becomes power. Find your purpose, write it down, and look at it every day. Let it pull you forward when motivation fails, and let it sustain you when discipline feels difficult. Because here's the truth: pleasure is temporary, but purpose is permanent. Let me leave you with this truth. You get one shot at this life. Don't trade it for likes, validation, or momentary highs. Don't let your potential die in the graveyard of distraction. The system wants you weak, distracted, and dependent. They profit from your attention deficit. They get rich while you get poorer. And not just financially, but spiritually, emotionally, and creatively. But you don't have to play their game. You can reclaim your mind and build something meaningful. You can become the person you were meant to be. The 4 steps I've shared aren't just suggestions, they're your roadmap to freedom. But none of this matters if you don't take action. Information without implementation is just entertainment. Knowledge without action is just intellectual masturbation. So here's what I want you to do right now. Comment below. What distractions are you choosing to destroy, starting today? What's the one thing you're going to eliminate from your life to make room for your dreams? And if this message resonated with you, if you're ready to break free from the matrix of mediocrity, subscribe to this channel. Because here, we don't go with the flow, we break the cycle. The choice is yours. You can continue being a product of the system, or you can become a producer of your own destiny. What's it going to be?